My name's Brian O'Neill. I'm 65. I come from Gilray in Ayrshire in Scotland, and I am a director of a couple of companies. Physically, I was probably in a place that I didn't want to be. I felt pudgy, I felt overweight, I felt slow, I felt as if I didn't have enough energy, and I kind of was looking for ways to change that. I suppose I felt frustrated, if I think back, annoyed with myself. I also felt that I didn't seem to have a solution to a weight problem. It was as if any time I tried to lose weight, it would come off for a bit, but then it would go back on. And that happened in various cycles over a number of years. So I was kind of frustrated with myself that I couldn't make the weight loss stick. I didn't want to try any sort of quick fix diet methods because I'd kind of had enough of those. I tried calorie counting, I even tried the Atkins, and I thought I was going to die afterwards and that for 4 weeks. It was just awful. I tried diets with fruit. All of these things tended to have a quick hit where you would lose quite a lot of weight quite quickly. But if you even stopped for a few days, it all seemed to go back on. And my experience was that when it did go back on, you ended up at a heavier weight than when you started. So that just caused even more frustration. I think it was the right time, right place. When Christian made the approach, it was a kind of hands-off discussion that says, well, what do you want to do and why do you want to do it? It wasn't a weight loss program as such. It was much more than that. And I suppose that tweaked my interest more than anything else. I think the impact was a lot of impact on self-esteem. You know, you get out of the shower in the morning and you have a selection of baggy clothes that you're putting on to disguise the fact that you're carrying too much weight. You can look in the wardrobe and see stuff that you wore a long time ago, but you know you've got no chance of getting into it. And I think there's always been a desire there to get back to when I wasn't carrying as much weight years and years and years ago. At time, I was looking for an opportunity that I could implement something that would get me down and keep me down as far as weight's concerned. It was affecting the way I felt I looked, the way I felt, and the way I actually felt. I felt heavy, I felt sluggish, didn't have as much energy as I once had in the past. Got frustrated because I couldn't get through as much work. Lack of focus, lack of concentration at times. It was just a kind of cycle. I think the concern I had was that I might not be able to complete it for whatever reason, or that it might not work. And I suppose you got to take a leap of faith sometimes and say, okay, let's go. You make the decision and you say, yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. And then you kind of back up and you say, was that the right thing to do? And you think about that for a bit, and then you say, okay, well, let's have a go. You've signed up, you're ready to go, so let's just get your act together and go for it. The worst that can be is successful. So let's have a go and try and make it successful. What was different about it? The difference was that the focus on food was a very small part of it. The focus on how you approached a number of things you did in your day-to-day life was more the focus, and how you dealt with things and what your thoughts were about things. I mean, in the early days, you would take a photograph of what you had to eat, and then interestingly, what Chris did was he challenged you to improve on what you ate, but didn't give you any clue, so you don't think about it yourself. So it was very much a case of you're trying to achieve something, so I'm here to support you. You start to figure out yourself how you can do that, and then I'll help and support you to do that. But it was more about how I approached things, rather than here's a list of stuff that you can do and don't do, and here's a list of food you should eat or shouldn't eat. He's very upfront with you. He's very honest with you. He doesn't tell this is what you do or that's what you do. It's very much a case of reflecting back your own questions. Very supportive when you do get there, but it really helps you get thinking. I lost a stone, £14. It doesn't sound a huge amount, but I've never lost £14 in 12 weeks before. And I know what I need to keep doing to reduce further. Because I've not stopped. I kind of view this as a sort of the end of the beginning part as far as overall health, fitness, well-being is concerned. And the weight just is one part of that. For this current part of the journey is to continue to reinforce the new habits and the changes that I've introduced, because I know the old habits can very easily creep back up on you and kind of mug you. And before you know it, you can be back where you were, because, changing habits is a kind of long-term thing. You really have to embed the new habits to make sure that the old habits don't come back. What I'll do is I'll sit after the coaching call with Chris and sit down and say, okay, I know what I'm going to do by way of exercise this week, and I'll schedule those sessions. And they're not overly long, 20 minutes, half an hour. Maybe do 4 sessions a week, which is nothing. I get quite fussy about what I'm going to eat now. I have the occasional misstep, but on the whole, I'm looking at trying to eat a balanced diet. I'm trying to keep within a calorie count, but it's not essential, provided over the course of the week I know that my total is less than the overall daily total, if you follow me, or a multiple of the daily total. I've upped my steps. I'm now doing more than 10,000 steps every day, which I suppose it goes back to the old Billy Connolly thing, eat less and move more is a good start. So that, augmented by a couple of bits of exercise thrown in during the course of the week, means that I'm maintaining a fitness level that I really hadn't maintained before. I even went into the garage and brought out the old exercise bike. So I've been having a go at that every other day, which is it's different because it's lain in there for years, untouched. Just take it for what it is, week at a time, and just focus on the exercise for that week, or the exercises for that week. There's no magic wand that Andy's going to wait for you, and it's up to you to take that step. Did I feel as if I was on a diet? Not really. I felt as if I was aware of what I was eating, but I didn't consider that to be a diet, because I didn't eat badly. I didn't eat quantities that made me hungry, because I was still eating well. I tweaked some of the things that I eat to be more beneficial for me, but it wasn't a diet as such, because the quantities were still the same within a daily count. So I couldn't say I was ever hungry. I couldn't say that I'd gone out and bought any special low-calorie foods or low-fat foods or anything like that. I did eat a lot of chicken, a lot of fish, and that was great, but that was balanced out with carbs and some fats as well. So overall, the food was good, still is good. I'm very pleased with myself. I don't know, but proud is a thing that I've got a funny relationship with. I think pride's one of these scary things. I'm very, very pleased with what I've done so far. And I'm continuing with this, both on the mastery programme, but I'm continuing the mastery programme and still be continuing doing the things that Chris helped me to change to do. So, for me, it's a win situation.